to the Kick-Ass Business Show because most business shows suck. My name is Pam Gockley and I will be your host today for the show, and this is our first show. I'm so excited. I'm even more excited to have Louie on today that I'm going to interview. I'm so excited. He is a coach, he is a speaker, he is an author, and he is an event producer, and he specializes in the nightlife music industry. And in his TV days, he interviewed Lady Gaga, not kidding, and Richard Branson and the Backstreet Boys. I'm so excited. So stay tuned for our interview with Louie Vella. Hello, and welcome to the Kick-Ass Business Show because most business shows suck. So we are talking to Louie Vella today from Canada, and he has an awesome story. So I did a little bit of a bio, so I want to welcome you to the show.
Hi, it's great to be here. Thanks to everybody out there taking the time to listen and watch. I appreciate everybody out there, and thank you for having me.
Awesome. And we want to do a business show that's really about small business owners, things that really affect us. You know, we watch TV shows on business and it's about the stock market. And frankly, that's not really too relevant to me. So I thought I'd start this show, and it's called the Kick-Ass Business Show. So my question is, Louie Vella, what makes your business kick-ass?
That's a great question. And I think my business does kick ass. Not only is it a cool business to be in, so I'm in entertainment, obviously. I work with musicians and nightclubs and festivals. So that for me kicks ass. But I find that my business kicks ass. As an entrepreneur, I'm a small business myself. Even though some of my clients are massive businesses, I consider myself a small business because I am. And you know, for me, it really kicks ass because, you know, one, I can design my work-life balance the way I want it to, right? I can be in pajamas if I need to and do my marketing from the comfort of my home. I can go on vacation with my wife and kids, bring the laptop, and still keep in touch. And I know some people say, hey, you're on vacation, you should be on vacation. But the cool thing is if I can take 8 vacations a year, but check on email sporadically, I get 8 vacations a year, right? Instead of the one vacation where I get to concentrate. So that kicks ass too. Right. And for me, as a marketing guy, I love being a first adopter. So I will check up on, you know, new apps that are out there or user behaviors that Generation Z is doing and how that affects millennials and then the boomers and so on. So to me, it really kicks ass to learn what people are doing and how to communicate with them, not just sell to them. So when I'm trying to create a brand from a music festival or a brand of a musician or work with a record label, it's awesome to be able to know what people are thinking and not just send them a sales message. Like, how do I really connect the brand with the audience? And that is awesome. That is a kick-ass thing right there for me.
So you actually engage your folks in a discussion. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think most people are so used to the older style of marketing and advertising, which is like pushing out. So television, radio, print, you know, you have your marketing message. You hope to get all the points across in that image or a commercial, and it's a push out medium. So it goes on television. It's said on radio. There's no communication there, right? So everybody's very used to that, except everybody's on social media nowadays. And that is no longer just a push out message. It's not a push out message medium at all. So when you use the same style of advertising, it doesn't engage well. So what I like to do is create either a sequence of stories or make sure that the imaging, the video, the post that you put out is an engaging piece, because you know you're going to have comments and likes and shares and retweets, and you can go back in there and communicate with your people. You know, if you're working with a famous brand like a musician, a celebrity, or a big festival, they love that. I know every one of us and everybody watching and listening, you know, if you tweeted to, you know, I don't know, a Lady Gaga and she even just liked your tweet, you feel awesome because she recognized you. And that celebrity style of mentality works on so many levels, you know, right from the local mom and pop pizza place, right? So I think a lot of businesses need to realize that we're no longer just pushing out a message. They don't want to see that. It's interruptive.
So
that's how they, yeah, go ahead.
What do you do if your message is just pushing and this isn't pulling? Is there certain adjustments you have to make?
100%. You might even just kill that ad completely. And again, that's the beauty of advertising or marketing on a medium like social media. You just stop it and you do another one. Whereas before,
can you say that again?
yeah, you stop the ad and do a new one. You do. Before we would have an 8-week, 12-week radio campaign or TV. You'd buy it. You might make small adjustments, but you might not see the results in the ROI right away. So you have to wait and follow through. And sometimes it doesn't work as well. Same with, if you're doing a print ad in a magazine, your ad may go out 3 months from now. And It's got to be ready, prepared. You got the most beautiful ad you can. You might hire an agency and get a great ad. But now it's an ad. People are getting used to not wanting ads. We never did, but now they're everywhere, and we're tuning them out. But by the time that goes out, and you were waiting for results, you're 6 months in. On social media, and that's what I love using, because that's where my demographic is right now, obviously, and most people's demographic. You can just tweak the ad or stop the ad right away. You can adjust the wording. Maybe the image isn't resonating.
Right.
You stop it, move on, or you tweak it like literally on the fly. I think the biggest thing to realize is you can create different posts that speak to different people. So again, one radio campaign goes out to a wide audience, technically. Maybe it's a business audience on an AM station, but now I can create an image and text that goes out to females, and it talks to them. One that goes out to males, different ages, those kind of ideas. A client that's a hotel client, they have a family-oriented campaign. They have, what's it called? A more of a younger couples campaign. And they're like, we're doing billboards and radio, and the ROI is not as strong. And I'm saying, because you have one message that tries to speak them all, to them all. But now we can create different messages and target exactly who we want to target, right? A romantic look for the couples, and only they get to see it.
Right.
Something with, you have kids and you want to go to the water park, only they see it. That kind of idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, and do you think that takes a lot of your time, or do you think it's time well spent?
To me, it does take a lot of time, but very well spent time, because the ROI is so high. So, whenever I work with any client, or even for my own business as a personal brand speaker, an author, someone who's trying to get business to business clients in, it's definitely something I spend the most time on, but because the results are there, they really are there for me. So, but, and that happens with a lot of businesses. It becomes a very, oh no, not social media. This is too much work. Because before, we're used to writing a check to radio and say, here's my points. And they come back with the radio ad, you give feedback, and like, they do all the work for you. They put it on the radio for you, and then you wait for the calls. It was easier technically, because you just wrote a check. Right. So here you go. Now it's like, you either have to do it all yourself, or maybe hire somebody if you're at that point to do the work, because it is a lot of work. It's cheaper though, but you trade the money for the hustle, right?
But I mean, sometimes when I talk to clients about this, my question to them is, who knows your clients better than you do?
That's exactly right. And who cares about your business more than you do, really? Right. And, having a team is super important, obviously, if you can get to those stages. I'm still a solopreneur, but I have some team members now that I work with, assistants and designers, things like that. But it's true. Who knows your baby better than you, and who cares about it better than you, right? And that's the tough thing.
Okay. And, so you do this actually for your clients. This marketing is what you do for your clients as well. Is that accurate? Absolutely. So
To me, it's a two-pronged effect. I do it for myself as a business. Mm-hmm. So I'm putting out articles that make sense to a business-to-business community, authored a book, speaking now, things like that, and all that social proof to make me an authority. I'm on magazines now, Huffington Post, Business.com, Inc. Those kind of things to make me an authority. But all that was strategic, right? It's not salesy. It's just, look, here's some great information, and Inc. wrote about me, and that looks good, right? And being on podcasts like this, it looks, not only are we both giving each other great information, it's entertaining for people, but it becomes somewhat of an authority piece where Pam thought I was cool enough to be on your show. You know what I mean? And to your audience, it makes me look a little bit better. And so those are pieces of my marketing as well at the same time. And on the second approach, when I do have a client that's either a hotel or a small business or musicians and record labels and festivals, I need to use the same formula for them. Mm-hmm. We just use, obviously different images, different ad text copy, and different targets, but very, very similar approach. So you build a sequence and story. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you can replicate what you're doing just for your clients.
Absolutely. And it really comes down to user behaviors, which change a lot, but that's what I have found for me works. And, it really does. It's not just what ad copy is going to trick them into buying, you know what I mean? That kind of idea. Right. It comes down to a user behavior thing. So, one of the festivals that I work with, we had a pre-sales launch, sold thousands of tickets on only, I think it was $150 ad budget,
Wow.
So, and this is year 3. So we do have some momentum going from the last 2 years, but the ad budget, you would imagine you'd need to sell almost $200,000 worth of tickets. You better have a strong ad budget, but it wasn't. It's because I sequenced getting them all riled up, just not salesy yet. Hey guys, what's coming? Don't miss out, blah, blah, blah. And then you hit them with the call to action and a small ad budget to just, our organic reach sucks. We know that. So I needed the ad budget, and everybody does. You need to do that to make sure you get the message to the amount of people. Mm-hmm. But it didn't take me a lot of money to create massive ROI, right? Because we just lined up the sequence.
That's awesome. So if we could just switch gears right here, my second question is, why isn't your business kick-ass? And I really want to talk about some of your struggles. And it's funny because I talk to business owners and they don't want to talk about this. And I say, we already know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't we just talk together, talk about it, come together as a group of small business owners, almost like a mastermind. So if you're comfortable, could you talk about the struggles in your business?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important to chat about, like you said, not only to brainstorm and get fresh ideas, but so other people can learn. Perhaps they're going through the exact same struggles. I mean, I think there's 2 reasons why I could kick ass more, right? That's a good way to spin it. One, I mentioned the team aspect, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes, and I think a lot of people struggle. You're not sure you're there yet to be able to put money towards a team to continue to grow. Sometimes we get at a level, like I know I get at a level where, wow, things are rolling. It's good. I can handle it myself. Some days it's like, wow, this is a lot of work, but no problem getting paid for it. But, I'm working in the office all day at my home here type of idea. Mm-hmm. If I had a team to do these things, I can grow my business. And sometimes I get stuck with this plateau and a ceiling of where my growth is only because I'm forgetting to go, give some of the work to a team, right? And it's hard. I've hired and fired team members, like we mentioned earlier. Nobody cares about your business more than you do. Mm-hmm. And so I can struggle with, yeah, but they're not the same as what I would. You know what I mean? Like they're not in my brain. And even though their 75% is probably awesome to the client, they don't notice the difference. Uh-huh. I notice the difference, and that could stop me from growing. You know what I mean? That in itself could be a reason why I don't kick ass enough.
Right. So do you think you're a loser, or do you think you're not a good business owner if you bring on team members?
No, I don't think that causes that mentality. I think that, my second reason why I don't kick ass is sometimes when I'm not selling enough, let's say a course isn't working out well, things like that. And then you might get those thoughts in your brain where, man, they seem to love my content, but they're not buying the course, which is inexpensive and it could help them. What's wrong with me? You know what? Maybe they think I suck in the end. Maybe they think, man, Louie has some free content, but I'm not, he can't help me with a $500 course type, you know what I mean? And so those thoughts can roll in your head. I think that happens to a lot of businesses, and you just have to keep persevering or tweaking the message and asking questions. Sometimes that's just the answer, and it has nothing to do with, Louie, you suck. You don't have the right info for the money, right?
No one says that.
Well, you never know, right? There are haters around, but it could just be, some sort of messaging that is not connecting with them. And if I don't ask those questions and really try and dig into, hey, like, why isn't there mass hysteria trying to hire me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I seem to be getting great feedback, but I have this many clients, which is great. But my next stage is here. How can I not get there? And, things are put up as roadblocks just to get you to push through them. I know that because I work with musicians, and I know whether it's, the way the universe is or the way the entertainment industry is set up, it's set up for you to hit those roadblocks. So not everybody makes it through. It's just the way it's set up. So I kind of know that already. So when I hit all these crazy roadblocks and get distracted, with an ADD style mentality and the focus breaks, I think they're set up this way somehow, magically. So how do I figure them out? Because when I get beyond them, then I have a good story to tell. And also I have got beyond them, right? I think that keeps me moving without just giving up.
Yeah, because I write nonfiction, so everything I talk about has happened to me. So
right.
When you get into that negative mindset, is there something that you do? Is there a magic word, or is there something that you do to like snap yourself out of it?
I just thought about this morning. I used to do with my wife a like negative positive belief idea where you type in or you would write out a negative belief and then right away you'd put in the positive belief on the other side and then either just throw the page out, something like that. But what it is not what you do with the paper. It's just you're constantly knowing. So for example, nobody wants to buy my course. And I'm thinking that's my negative belief, for example. But on the other side of the page would be everybody wants to buy my course. They would pay double for my course. And if you do that daily, it's just changing your mentality to somehow thinking about how to get to that point as opposed to just thinking the woe is me idea, right? So that in itself works well. And, taking some breaks here and there, trying to refresh your brain, going to play with the kids, jumping in the hot tub, taking the day off, things like that. I think, like you said, the hustle is crazy. You get to, work on it all the time, and just taking those breaks gives you a new perspective. So that's something that helps. And of course, like I mentioned, asking the questions usually helps too. There's always some people out there that are like, yeah, no, I'll tell you exactly what I think, right? You got to be careful not to get the people that are the yes men, that are good friends, that are like, no, the course, the 4 series course, it looks awesome. I would buy. And, you're not expecting to buy because they're your friends, but you're really not getting listen, Louie, the 4 courses were great, but there's too much info. I got it all. Why would I buy your course? You need that real feedback. So you got to find the right people to give you the real feedback, not just the friendly, things are awesome, Louie, you're the best.
Right. So I want to thank you for sharing some of your successes and some of your challenges in your business. So if you just want to leave our audience with one last final thought, please go ahead.
Sure. I mean, I think a common thread for me, and I think a lot of people will love this, is so many times in my business growth, I have had the roadblocks, like I just mentioned. The doors are closed. I wanted to get in radio, of course the door's closed. Television, of course the door's closed. Work with a festival, and they're always closed. Right? Mm-hmm. But I did get into radio, and I got syndicated. And I did get into television, and I was on for like 8 years. And I do now work with labels and stuff. And to me, the common thread was always when the doors closed. This is a fun quote. I would build a door beside it and break that open instead. So the quick example, for radio, I had friends who owned radio stations, but they had their staff. They can't just throw Louie in there. Mm. So that door was closed. How did I build the door beside it? Well, I learned how to nowadays it's easy because we podcast, right? Yeah. You can produce your own show. So, but years ago, podcasting was just in the infancy, but I looked into podcasting. How do I make my own show with my laptop, a radio show, like a countdown, because that's what I want to do, and it fits my music business. Mm-hmm. And so I made my own show, and I syndicated it to the radio stations, FM and digital, things like that. And I built my own side door, and I got onto 350 radio stations around the world. And that was building my own door and breaking that open instead. So that happens all the time, right? So when those, everybody out there, when those doors are closed, and they all are, maybe they should be closed. I'm not sure how it works, but there is a way around it. There always is. And you either build your own way and open that door instead, you know what I mean? Or just keep going at it.
Wow. Thank you so much. And I think the side door is a great concept, and your energy and your mentality, I think, is awesome. So I want to thank you for being on my show. I want you to understand how many folks you may have just helped in the same, boat as we are. So thank you so much for taking your time today.
Thanks for having me on, and thanks everybody out there for listening. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
This is what we came in for.
Bam, bam, bam.